So here we are at a property that we picked up for you, would be about a year and a bit ago now.
Yeah, about a year and a half. Yeah.
Year and a half ago. So we actually bought the property beside us here, which we'll cut to in a minute. So we picked that up for $570 off market. There's a complete dog's breakfast on the inside and out. So we're looking at repainting the outside now, but we've done the renovation inside. Yeah. The brother of the owner lived in there. All the walls were covered with muck and filth. Something. Yeah. Don't know what it is, but it was something.
I wasn't keen to lick it.
Oh, that makes me feel bad. So yeah, it was filthy. We did the reno. I think we did the reno for maybe about 40-ish.
Yeah, so about 40, 45. Yeah.
40, 45. Yeah. So floors.
Yeah.
We polished the floors, or maybe put carpet in there. I can't quite remember now.
Yeah, polished the floors, and then we put in some floating floor and some
in the
other
front
specific areas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did the bathroom, did the kitchen, gave it a paint, replaced some light fittings, cleaned it up, so it looks really good inside. It's all renovated.
Looks great.
And then, but that wasn't necessarily the sole reason why we bought that one. So it was off market, great deal, no competition. And we bought this one because it was a great corner block, and the house was really to one side. We've got all this space to the side, so we can essentially do what we've done here, or what you've done here, which is build another home, not just a granny flat in this case.
No.
4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, double lock-up house.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about the process of that and how much that costs.
Yeah, cool. Yep. So this is sort of leaning into our dual occupancy strategy. So for a long time, we've been working on granny flats and that sort of thing. But dual occupancies have really come into vogue as land values have increased. Mm-hmm. And so really what we saw was, okay, if we've got a big enough property, we can actually build a full-sized house. Now, the downside with a dual occupancy strategy with something like this is the dollar spend versus the cash flow is not quite as good as a granny flat.
No.
But the great thing that it gives you is a separate title. I can title these separately. So it's almost like a subdivision in that sense. And in doing that,
it gives you the same outcome, right? You've got two separate properties you can sell individually.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah.
So if someone's choosing what they want to do, whether they go, well, I can do a granny flat or I can do like a dual occupancy. Yeah. They really need to weigh up what they want to achieve from it. You know, like, is it really just a cash flow play? Well, then maybe the granny flat's the better option for
100%.
them.
Yeah. Yeah. So I really wanted to maximize the potential of this block.
Yes.
And so in that sense, a dual occupancy made sense. It's probably going to be about 20 years before I completely retire or whatever it might be. And so going towards a completely cash flow play sort of didn't make as much sense. It was spend the capital to create the capital.
Actually, let's do a bit of a comparison on this property, right?
Yeah.
So we paid $570 for that.
Yep.
If we did a granny flat here, a cash flow play, in terms of value, right?
Yeah.
If we did a granny flat here, the granny flat build would have been around
220-ish,
220,
230 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it takes us up to what, 790 then? 790-ish, I think. That's if I'm mathing right.
Plus the renovation expenses there.
Oh yeah.
It'd take you to about, let's say, 830.
830, right? And that's how much it cost us.
Yeah.
In today's market, a year and a half on, whatever it's been, but roughly about a year and a half on, dual occupancy house and granny flat like this, renovated house, 2-bedroom granny flat, probably would be around that sort of, at least one being really conservative. I always try and be really conservative, but we've also seen a lot of stuff selling at 1.1 and above too.
Yeah.
So again, being conservative, 1 to 1.1.
Yeah.
If we look at that from what we've done here today, so we've got the house, which would be on a 300 or 350 square metre block. The original house, renovated high set home. What would that be worth alone by itself? Yeah. Because this one's on a separate title now.
That's right.
So that one would be, let's say, 750 to 8.
Yep.
Okay. Let's say, again, being a bit conservative, 750 to 8.
Yep.
Because it's on the smaller 300 block.
Yeah.
If we did nothing to it and we just kept the whole block, it would have probably been sitting around that 950 at least.
Yeah.
Right? So that house as it is at the moment on the smaller block, we'll say 750, being ultra conservative.
All right.
This house here
Yeah.
is a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, also on a smaller block.
Yeah.
It would be worth, and we were talking about this before, again being conservative, 850, which I actually think is very conservative, to probably 950.
Yeah, sure.
So you can see in terms of value across both properties, this one's actually giving you more equity.
Yeah, I mean our total spend
Probably the
here
long
for
way
the
of saying
build
that, but yeah.
is instead of like 220, 230, I spent 530.
Yeah.
Right, so you spend an extra like $300,000.
Yeah.
But your valuation goes from like 1 to 1.1
Yeah.
to like 1.5.
Yeah.
Right, so you squeeze another $100-something thousand out of this
It's
in
more
terms
than
of equity.
1.5. So if that one's, what do we say,
750,
750?
850. That's like 1.6,
It's
right?
probably 950. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so
1.6,
that's
maybe
pretty.
even to
That's pretty
1.7.
insane, right? Like, and so that was that capital
Yeah.
increase. So what I can do now is I can go in and I can actually.
And you can just sell one and keep one asset.
I can
too.
sell one, yeah, I
So
can
you've
pay
got
it down.
options now.
Yeah.
You don't have to sell the whole thing.
And the rent for the granny flat, 550,
Yeah.
maybe 600.
Yeah.
Rent for this place was 550, maybe 600. It's
Yeah.
an older house, 3-bedroom, sort of 3-bed.
Well, we're
one bath.
trying for that one at the moment because the tenant's about to move out. We're trying for 575.
575,
Yeah.
yeah. So you got 550 in the granny flat scenario. In the new scenario, it's 550, and it's probably what rental.
Oh, this we're
returning is
talking. I
750,
think we're
800.
talking about 750.
Yeah, 750. So the cash flow is not quite as good, but the capital uplift was there. And when there's capital uplift, every time there's a percentage point in growth, that is applied to the entire thing
Yeah.
of capital. So I'd rather 1% growth on 1.6 mil
Yeah.
than 1% growth on 1.1 mil. You know what I mean?
And for people out there, it's not necessarily one thing is better than the other.
No.
It's just you've got to decide what's the better option for you
Yeah.
at that point in time in your portfolio as
Just
well.
choose up an extra 300 grand of your borrowing capacity, right? Like it might make sense for you.
They're actually both really good outcomes.
Yeah.
But it's what's going to fit best at this point.
And for me, it was just all about, it was a game of timelines.
Yeah.
Like we have clients who are sort of a bit further advanced in their careers and they're thinking of winding down in 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Their entire thing, like they come to you and say, I want to buy a property. I want it to make sure it's like granny flat. I don't want to compete in the dual occupancy space or anything like that.
Yeah.
Let's just keep it simple, keep it cash flow, keep it neat. And they're able to do that. Or we have some clients who have bought properties and they've had equity uplift. They can actually re-access that equity, build a granny flat. The granny flat returns like 11 to 13% ROI. They're paying 6% on the interest. So that is essentially just like an ROI arbitrage, which is insane as well. So yeah, there's a lot of really interesting strategies. And for us, this is the one that made sense for this property. I'm leaning into the dual occupancy stuff a little bit more. And we're seeing that a lot more with our clients as well, which is nice. So like infill development in already established areas, it's sort of the way to go, rather than just knocking down all the koala trees, and, just like slashing and burning. It's like you watch Avatar and you're like, wait, am I the bad guy?
Yeah,
But
that's
if
right.
you're in an infill development, you're not destroying.
You're the good
You're not
guy.
destroying anything. This was just grass.
Yeah.
It was just empty.
Yes.
And now it can be used, for a family to move in,
Yeah.
and it's a win for me, as the
It's a win for society.
It's a win for society.
It's a win for Australia.
It's a win for Australia. And it's a win for a family that can move in and call this place home. It's a beautiful dead end street. It's very.
It's
chill
actually
here.
a
Really
fantastic
great
outcome.
pocket.
This one.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, so I was stoked, and that was the entire sort of strategy behind it. Okay, so with all of that being said, you want to go take a look at it?
Let's go.
Yeah, awesome. After you. I think this is a nice sort of setup. I really wanted, like, every time we design a garage, I was always wary of the fact that, like, you got a door swinging into the garage, and it always just ticked me off. So, like, having like a little communal or like a little circulation space that sort of stepped out of the garage, I think is, just like a tiny little touch with the layout, and it just makes, a big difference.
Good flow.
Yeah, I'm trying to do it with a lot of houses these days where you sort of step away from, and it's sort of like in the middle, so you can see the garage is just like we're directly in the middle of the garage center. So people open the doors and they come straight in here, which is always nice.
That closed off.
Little toilet. So yeah, there's a door here, and there is a cavity slider in here, and so this is just like a little recessed little toilet with a come home from work, wash up before you get stuck into the day. Laundry and like your dry storage pantry stuff here. It's what we call the Costco pantry in here. So
and it's a Costco pantry because you come. Why?
You just bring in like big boxes of stuff and you just load it up. Like
okay.
Yeah, it's great. But yeah, we got the pantry inside as well. Like this kitchen, Caesarstone came out with this new stone here, and Charneil in our office was like all over it, obsessed. So we'll get rid of the dust. But yeah, what is it called, Al? Moon dust? Lunar frost. And it's, I don't know.
Moon dust.
Moon dust, yeah, dusty from the building. But yeah, lunar frost, and it looks sick. We've got like some really good, like obviously they got the protective sheet and stuff on this, but yeah, I don't know. It just sets it off really well. Bit of cleaning to do there, but yeah, looks awesome. And so yeah, just keeping everything modern, real simple. It's just a rental, but this is all of our standard colors up here.
It's good with it being lighter because they went dark for a while back there,
yeah,
which made it closed in. But this nice and fresh and light, very rentable with these colours at the moment.
Yeah, and that's why.
And not just rentable, but also sellable if you want it to sell it straight away.
Value as well. And that's the point of like, so when we sort of expanded the team in our office with the project management side, I was like, getting these resumes in, and we had a resume from someone who was in the custom homes division of another builder, who was a qualified interior designer, and was doing project management. And so this is her vision, essentially. I was like, I don't want to touch this project at all. Basically.
Hands off.
And Charneil was the one who basically ran the entire thing. Chose all of the colours, pretty much everything. The only thing I was involved in, and Alice is going to get a shot of this later, the only thing I was involved in was the sink. It was like an extra $50 per sink. I think it's like so much better than like our basic investor spec one. So I'm like, but that's the thing, right? Some people don't care. But I don't know, I'm a sink guy. I love a good sink. I don't think there's really too much extra to show in terms of like layout, but it is nicer to get an idea of what the house looks like now that you've got, cladding and gyprock and all that sort of stuff. Sometimes people talk to us, they're like, oh, what is this stuff here? This is line that comes through here, and but really it's for the plasterboard expansion contraction because you need to. Because if you come back in a couple of years' time, you'll just see a crack there anyway. Yeah, and it'll be all weird. It'll go everywhere. If you don't have that crack will go. Yeah. So you got to have the expansion joints. Some people like to have it go down the cornice on each side, but anyway.
The other question that I was actually going to ask when we're back there is you're saying like I didn't want to touch this. This is all done for me. Like the design. Like the tiles, the bench top, everything else. I didn't want to touch that. So sometimes clients want to be very much involved and choose colours, and they've got that option with you guys. But have they also got the hands-off option where they just go to you guys, just do what you think's best, give me different price levels, choose the colours, choose tiles, choose everything? Yeah, I mean, the team have like pre-selected and pre-designed. So every year we go through and have a look at sort of what's trending, but also what's timeless in terms of like what that trend is. So at the moment it's trending a bit more light, but we're staying away from, over the top wood grains and like intense patterns and all that sort of stuff, because that's more trend. And you can date quite quickly. And you can date it, So trends date really quick. The trendier it is, the harder it dates. So we can sort of stay away from that, but we were for a time going to like slightly darker tones, like wood tones and all that sort of stuff, darker stains. Sort of step back from that now.
But for the most part, you've got sort of like a light palette, a dark palette, and you mix and match between those. Generally speaking, I like the roofs to be light.
Yeah.
Really great for solar reflectance, really good for energy efficiency, all that sort of stuff. And I generally like, lighter walls and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Let the natural light bounce around, makes it feel
Makes
larger
it
area.
makes it feel spacious. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
Definitely
why we got.
worthwhile going somewhat neutral, right? And not too.
Yeah.
Like if you're living in the house, it's different. It's a preference. You might be
Yeah.
living there for a while. But as an investment, you're trying to attract tenants, which is not such a problem at the moment. But also when you go to resell it, you don't want it, someone going, I really hate that kitchen. I have to replace it straight away.
And you want a valuer to walk in and feel like, oh, I don't have a complete hatred of this place. You know what I mean? Like, because valuers, the valuation is, they try to say that they're, impartial, and they are sometimes, but they're human
They're
as well.
human.
They walk in and a home has a sense of feeling, and
They get an impression. So while they're still ticking their boxes, they're like, and I've spoken to a lot of valuers, as you can imagine, over the years.
Yes.
There's still also, they're ticking the boxes, they're comparing it to other properties, they're doing all that, but they're also thinking, one of the key things is, what would this sell for in the open market? And if you've got that obnoxious tiles or something that's quite dated, they're like, that's going to detract from the sale. It's going to deter, make a lesser pool of buyers who will be interested in it, because maybe not just something as simple as the tiles. Yeah. But if you got like bright red carpet or something in there, they're going to go.
You'd be surprised, the tiles as well. I mean, we've had some clients come in with some ripper tiles, and like some bathrooms you walk in and you feel like you're going to faint, because it's like messing with your mind so much. Like,
it's got those like hexagon tiles where it looks square, and
you feel like you're going down that tunnel from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, that old one, or it's like, whoa. So that's sort of like what it can be. So we try to stay away from that, keep it fairly neutral, keep it fairly tame, fairly timeless. And then you can trend light, you can trend dark. We put all that together. Some people like to go really custom, because we build custom homes as well, right? Like Wilson Design and Build is originally a custom home builder. Not really in the investment space, but so we tried to take some of that like custom sort of vibe and shift it over to the investment side without overwhelming investors. Of course, like a lot of our clients, like, you're over in Singapore, right? Like, good luck trying to, compare swatches while you're in Singapore. Or like some of our clients are in London or like over in the US. And
even if they're not overseas, a lot of investors are just super busy. Like everyone seems super busy in their work. And throughout the process of with us buying as well, it's hard to get a hold of people. So it's such a low priority for them. And people want to be hands off as much as possible, I mean, you got other clients who obviously want to be very much involved in every detail, and that's fine, but a lot of people are just too busy. And you don't really need to worry about the colours if you guys can go, yep, there's your 3 choices, that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant. Just a good thing to have. A lot of homes do include them, but some homes don't, is the patio, the outdoor entertainment barbecue area. Just makes that a little bit more rentable. We go to some properties and there's nothing, like there's not even a cover or anything. And people like that, they prefer it. So to have that space is a really good thing. Yeah,
I think just like taking advantage of the outdoors. I mean, today's like a beautiful day, like so many days here in Queensland. But having something that's like undercover, that's insulated, that keeps you out of the sun. It's always great to have direct access, essentially straight into your kitchen, straight into your living area. So yeah, it's good. Like if you don't have much of a backyard, utilizing a space where you can have at least a bit more of an outdoor area, an outdoor entertaining area, and also it's very low maintenance, right? So like that's one of the things I always think about when it comes to rental properties. It's like, am I going to be renting a property that's like 1,500 square meter block of land, right? Now I'm like, well, hopefully they don't just park like 20 cars there and like let them rust out, or like, is this going to be a massive headache? Not mow it, and then it just like affects evaluations, and the neighbors get ticked off, and it just causes headaches. So having something that's like low maintenance is very nice, I think. And that's what we sort of try to aim for, especially people, busy lifestyles, tenants, that sort of stuff. Very livable. So we've got the bathroom set up. One thing that we always think about, like if you're an investor, One thing that you can do in a standard home is, tile to the ceiling. And then you can square set around the ceiling. You can also, if this is your home, tile across the face of the window and down into the window frame. We opted not to do that on this one, just to save money, because otherwise you're just mitering every tile. A lot more work and labor, and let's be real, a lot of people don't really care about that. So in here, the shower frame just comes from the edge of this bath across to the wall, and then it'll come across the top of the bath. So this will be a nice little shower enclosure. But yeah, sometimes you can put the windows inside the shower enclosure, but you are going to have to tile into the frame. So some people will say like, why can't I just simply move my window here or do this or whatever it might be? And what they don't realize is that there are so many more like implications. And it's not just like looks or positioning. A lot of the time it has to do with like meeting the National Construction Code. It might be issues with waterproofing. You could have rot over the long term, all that sort of stuff. So working with a builder.
Or even PowerPoints as well.
PowerPoints, yeah. So like people try to put like PowerPoints in certain locations, and they have to be a certain distance.
Is there a certain thing with windows? Sorry, jumping in the shot. With windows being like, that's obviously close to the toilet. It's frosted, I see, or even close to a shower. Is there any rules around that?
No, you can have a window inside the shower.
Yes,
if you want.
Right,
yeah, 100%.
And it doesn't matter how big or if it's got to be a certain height or anything like that.
So that is a really good. That's something that's really good to bring up. You need the base of the window because the outside has a fall. So you could just straight out.
Yes, because
right?
we're on the second level here.
Exactly, we're on the second level. Sorry, context for the audience at home. We are on the second level. You need at least 1 meter from the finished floor to the window.
Yep.
Otherwise, they'll put a blocker on the window, so you can only open up the window to like this level. And
not just for the bathrooms, but obviously
for everywhere on the second story. The only way you can get around that is by putting like security screens, so that diamond mesh stuff, where it's screwed into the window, or like some crim safe style security screen as well.
Which a lot of people do anyway, I suppose. But
yeah, but a lot of people will say like, "Oh, I'm on the second story. Does it really need security screens?
Yeah.
Why are you putting security screens?" And you'll get sometimes comments like that. We'll like do a house, and we'll say, "Oh, this is it," and they're like, "Why would you put crim safe on the second story? No one's going to be able to get up there or whatever." And the answer is because of the fall protection.
Yeah.
These clients wanted the larger windows. And so someone will go, well, what's the difference between me going from a window, and we're just making the window maybe 300 millimeters like taller?
Yes.
And then they'll say, why is there such a cost increase? It's like, well, because you're mandated now to have the security screens.
Yes.
Otherwise,
you can't just have like a fly screen or anything like that. You have to have something that's solid.
That's right.
Yeah.
Many people would just say like, okay, we'll do that, and then the window will be blocked, and then they will and then the client will bring it up, and then they'll have a conversation with the client, and the client will say, why didn't you tell me? If you had told me, I would have made a different decision. And the answer is, yeah, you probably would have, right?
Yeah.
And it probably would have been less headache, or whatever it might be. And so that's why we have the discussion with the client straight up. So yeah, although we're investment builders, really we're mostly educators. So, and Alice can attest to that. She's educating all the time.
You've got to hold people's hands through the process.
Yeah.
And that's fair because they haven't done it before, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Yep. And the other thing as well, National Construction Code, local council rules, Queensland Development Code, these things are changing all the time. It's honestly insane. In fact, it was one of the promises from the government when they got in was like, we're going to freeze changes to the National Construction Code for a little bit because
just for everyone to
the
catch
changes
up.
have been so insane. Yeah. And you'll have conversations with engineers, with experts, and they'll be talking and referencing, and town planners as well, they'll be referencing stuff from like 6 months ago that's now out of date. And that's just one council area. Yeah. And there's like 6 councils in Southeast Queensland. Yeah. It's honestly insane. Yep. So yeah, this is, we've got a bedroom here. That's the main bathroom. Another bedroom in here. So fairly roomy bedrooms. And yeah, not too bad.
Big rooms.
Not too shabby.
Big master bedroom, like got the double wardrobe, which is good. It
The double
sort of shows
wardrobe, yeah.
so-
Well, you put this double wardrobe in because otherwise you just got massive amounts of sliding doors that you try to stack onto each other, and then your rails, you got like no support, so you have to have this weird thing hanging down.
But you quite comfortably fit a queen bed in here, like this.
Very easily.
So
very
it's,
easily.
just for reference on size, which is good. It's all insulated on in the roof, which is good.
3.6.
Got the bats in the silver. What's the silver paper?
Yes.
Sisolation or something? Or?
Sisolation. You got it, man. You got it. Yep.
I'm learning.
Yep.
I'm learning.
So I always like doing this because if you put your sisolation underneath the roof, and then you can use the sisolation as well that has the bats on one side.
Yeah.
And so that's your first layer of protection. And then your second layer of protection is actually the roof cavity itself. It's got this, like, obviously a volume of air that's going to get heated up.
Yeah.
And then we vent that out. And then underneath that air that gets heated up is another layer of insulation before you get to your ceiling. And so what happens is, you've got all of these like phases of material that the heat has to get through.
Yeah.
And that just increases the insulation performance massively.
Yeah.
I mean, for a time in Queensland, like people just weren't putting in insulation at all. It was crazy. We came over
My
from New
house
Zealand.
wasn't it had a like a fairly flat roof.
Yeah, it's crazy. Hey,
old house obviously, but
yeah, it's insane how that was done. But
and no fans, no aircon. When we first moved there, it was ridiculous.
yeah,
Anyway,
master bedroom.
huge.
Yeah, PowerPoints, TV point. Doors. Look, doors. It's all pretty standard. Like this walk-through robe, I like the vibe of. Doing a walk-through robe.
When you come straight out of the shower, like if you're coming out there, you can just
grab
your
whatever you
clothes
need
off,
and then go get
dressed
changed or whatever. Yeah.
You don't have to go back into the room and open
Yeah.
up a wardrobe or something.
Yeah. And you can still put like your tall boys and all that sort of stuff in, but yeah, nice large shower. Again, the sink.
Look at that
The fabled
sink.
But a bathroom is a place where you can spend a lot of money. So in an investment property, just keeping things simple and you're not going to break it. That's, I think, really important. Elevate it with just small little changes, right? Nice tile, nice stone top. Maybe if you're really feeling exciting, you can tile to the ceiling. But aside from
And
that,
just going back to what you were saying before, like you can see that it's all super neutral. None of it's really offensive. Like you've got a greyish, slightly with tints of brown in the tile there. It sort of matches with, but you can see that's not going to date for many, many years.
Yeah.
Until there's something totally different. Maybe all the colours are going to come back in, like purples and
Bring back
orange,
the 70s, bring back the 60s.
or like Friends, right? You look at watch Friends, their doors purple, and back in the 90s.
I am a millennial, and so millennial beige. It's a sign of the times, maybe. Everything is grey. But no, I like it. It's neutral, and then you can just, if you're a tenant and you're moving in here, you can like zhuzh it up yourself. You can make it your own, and you're not really forced into anything. So that's what I like.
The market changes, and it's not just black and white that the market's hot or cold. But part of the reason why the renovation thing isn't working is because there's so many buyers out there. So buyers are paying a premium for properties, let's say a renovation property where there's sometimes not enough margin in it either. It's not worthwhile.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily that it's just hot or cold market, but it's the types of properties change, and so you need to adjust your strategy along the way. Yeah,
it's a sign of constriction. Like when you have a situation where stuff is like we're looking at a property in Pimpama, big block of land, house had to get torn down, just a concrete slab. They paid $860,000 for this, and they're going to have to spend another 30-40 grand to rip up the slab. That isn't even taken into as a consideration. Another place in Logan Lee, 2-story house, half built. It's just frames. It's literally it's been in the weather the entire time. You're going to try to salvage this, and it just sold for like an insane premium. And it was just crazy. And that speaks to the constriction of supply in the market. As that gap opens, I think we're going to start
And there'll be
seeing
people who
potential for
buy
flipping.
that stuff though. That's the thing. All the stuff that in a slower market people would either avoid or it'd take a lot longer to sell because it's, like you said, it's half completed house.
Yep.
And I'm not sure if it's the same house because you said Logan Lee. Are you talking about Logan Home?
No, Logan Lee, yeah.
There was a similar house in Logan Home where it was half completed and they couldn't give it away for love or money. So they did the subdivision. It was flood affected on the new maps, funny enough.
Yeah.
And it wasn't bad. It wouldn't take much to finish. But I remember when they were trying to get rid of it for 400,000. So basically land value at the time, and couldn't give it away. But then 3 years later, they're now asking a premium for it because there's just nothing around. So people are paying whatever they can get their hands on. Where, you know, that sort of stuff, you just wouldn't even look at it before.
Yeah. So that's sort of what I always like pay attention to is like, what's the difference between a place that would need a renovation versus a place that's brand new? Yeah. If that gap is really small, I'm like, okay, this is an insanely hot market, right? And so people will say like, oh, the price has gotten to a certain point. Is it ever going to come back for like new homes or land or whatever it might be? Looking for that gap. Yeah. Because when people are less willing to pay for the fixer-uppers, then that's when you start seeing like, oh, certain segments of the market are now breaking away. Yeah. And so you can look at that market structure and think like, okay, this is where we're at. But Brisbane's still closed.
And sometimes, and you just got to be onto that, right? Because sometimes you get the renovations that come up, and because there's not as many people, so there's a shortage of supply, but there's also a shortage of people who want to spend the money, like we were saying before. Yeah. So sometimes there's that property that comes up where it's no one really wants to spend the money on it. You can get it for a great price. Yeah. If you do the renovation, then you can actually get the premium for it. So
I think if it hits the open market, you're sort of cooked as a buyer.
Open market,
like you're fighting against everyone. But like for the property next door that you found, the client in their head, they bought it for a certain point. Yeah. It was trashed inside. So they're thinking to themselves, this is going to be a nightmare to take to the open market. Yes. Right? And so that's when someone like you come in.
Well, their brother was living in it, right?
Hey. Yeah, well.
And he was like a bit of a feral.
Yeah, sort of trashed it.
And so if you did take it to the market, even the agent was like, I don't want to take this to the market. Yeah. Like, I'm going to have all these people looking at it and it's terrible.
I'm looking at it, I'm like thinking, he probably should have.
Yeah.
He probably.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I was looking at this property in Pimpama, or this half-built house. Yes. And they both went to auction, right? Yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, there's no way, right? Yeah. There's no way that this sells for more than 700 grand. And then it just flies straight past to 860, like without even blinking. And I remember thinking like, holy smokes, off-market deals. If you can find an off-market deal where the vendor, has got a mindset.
Off-market gives you the chance to take first look and decide whether it's worthwhile. Yeah. Because there's a lot of off-market as well that is off-market, way overpriced because they're just fishing. Oh, and they want to give people that chance to get it, pay the premium without the competition. Yeah. But if you can get the off-market and you go, oh, actually, this makes a lot of sense. This is a great deal. Then you don't have the competition.
Because that's what this one was. Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's really good to get. But if it goes to auction, at the moment, current 5th of February 2026. Yeah. Like if you're going to auction, you're making bank as a seller. I feel like at this rate.
That's what an auction is designed for, right? It's the perfect market. There's heaps of buyers. You put them in competition with each other. You have them face to face, eyeing each other, and like, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, and you're just there. And
where the flip side of that is other markets that we've been in, where the market's a lot slower. Yeah, you're the only person that turns up to 5 auctions in a row. Yeah, you're the only person that sticks their hand up.
Those are the good days.
So we've seen the before when it was just a frame and a roof. We've seen today the midway point where we've got the walls up. It's actually really coming along quite well. So we'll probably catch up in a couple of weeks, month or so, and see the final finished product where it's all landscaped, it's all painted up, everything's got carpet in, looking really good. Yeah. I think that'll be really great to see the final outcome.
Yeah, we'll invite you around to the handover where my team has to take me around and I have to point out all the defects. just like one of our clients would. You know, I get
Actually,
the full
that's good.
client- I get
Actually,
the
you're
full
going to be the
client
worst
experience.
for that.
You know what? Potentially.
You're going to be the
But,
worst or the best.
But like our supervisors, the handover process is really interesting because in so many of our builds,
Yeah.
we have hardly any defects. Just because the guys have, you know, they've only got like 10 to 12 projects that they're overseeing.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's very
Actually,
chill.
that is fair and true to say.
Yeah.
Because I have been to many of those handovers with clients as well,
Yeah.
as well as my team. And it's usually, there's, you know, touch up with paint, like just a few little minor things, but nothing.
Yeah.
And not a
Yeah, and
lot.
we get, you know, guys like handovers.com and, you know, other inspectors, third-party inspectors come through and, you know, they're very consistently, you know, quite happy with what we have to do. And so, yeah, I'm not going to go easy on you guys just because I'm employing you. I'm really keen to see how it looks, you know, and get like the full client experience, you know. As a builder, sometimes you don't really get the other side of it. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for a huge box of chocolates, a massive bouquet of flowers, probably a couple of love letters. Nah, wait, that's Valentine's Day.
It's coming up.
Yeah, the handover will be really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm
Awesome.
excited.
We'll see you next video.
All right.